Okay, so these are just some basic traps per se, puzzles kind of maybe, depending on how you use them. Mostly based off of the sequence gear shift, just because I learned how to use the sequence gear shift recently and pretty useful. I'm probably going to be using it for more projects that I'm working on in the future as I tinker with more of the create mod. But just some basic traps that I got inspiration from by playing other games and stuff. And I'm probably going to implement some of these into a map or something at some point in the future. This right here is just basically a ceiling a ceiling trap where it'll slowly come down and crush whatever's underneath it. All of these you can attach the dripstone. I don't even know what they're called. It's the dripstone points. You can put them at the bottom of these or on the walls, and that will work. You just have to adjust for the space that it uses. But you just have a gear shift here, the sequence one specifically, and you have your piston go to the direction, like one direction, based on where the power source is plugged in. It can be different, but I just have this set to input forwards, then a delay, and then input reversed. You can also make it go faster by changing the power source, or you can always hit just double the speed in the gear shift itself, and then I have it set to end right here. And it's just the power source, the sequence gear shift, and then just the piston and the blocks that are all glued together. And you just press the button, have your redstone source activate the gear shift, and it'll slowly go down, so you can have like tripwires or pressure plates or anything. I just didn't do much of that just because it's up there all the way at the top. You could just use the redstone links as well for ease of access rather than having to do the manual redstone all the way behind the walls and stuff. I recommend doing at least 2 layers if you're going to do this type of trap, just because if it's 1, you won't suffocate, and then even 2, sometimes it'll just boot you upwards. So that's why I did 3. It prevents you from being booted upwards unless maybe you jump or something. This is a rotating bridge trap. Basically, it is just the mechanical bearing attached to a sequence gear shift, which controls the rotations. I have it set to turn 90 at regular speed forwards, and then the delay when it gets stuck in the middle, and then a reverse input speed, and it'll turn 90 degrees one way and 90 degrees the other way. You can also double the speed. Once again, it all depends on this. I just have this set to slow because usually traps like these are set to be pretty slow, so you can at least try to run across. And then there's just some form of pitfall at the bottom of it. This is a wall crushing trap. I did only do 1 layer, and it does kick you out once you get crushed by the wall. I have this one wired underneath, just hooked to the pressure plate, have the power source go each way with the redstone repeaters. Simple piston. It's easier to do if this is like an even number in the middle. Otherwise, you need to try to time each of these with different timings instead of just being opposite directions with the same timings. Basically, one has this going reversed and then forwards, 1 meter because it only has 1 pole right here. And this has the opposite directions but the same timings, and the same distance because it's also 1. And then if you step on it, it should slowly close, and then it'll have that delay, and then it will open again. And just to show what happens when you only put 1 layer, it'll crush you, and then it'll just kick you out the side. So I do recommend at least doing 2, maybe 3 layers with this one as well. And then this right here is a basic pitfall trap, like the standard like trapdoor thing. Because I built this one in the air, I just had this set up to the redstone signals that are wireless, but I have these set to the double speed of the regular 16 speed creative mode engine. So it's essentially running at 32 speed, so it'll be pretty fast. I have it set to 90 degree turn, 5 tick delay, 90 degree turn in the other direction, and then this is quite literally just the same but opposite directions. So if I stand in the middle here, it is these 4 glued, and then these 4 glued. And then if I press the button, it'll drop, and then you fall in the lava. and it'll close pretty quickly afterwards. And typically, it'll blend in, so maybe have a different block or have whatever you want to stand in a certain spot. And the only thing you really need to worry about is having the glue set up on the right blocks. So just 4 here, 1 wall here, 1 wall there, this entire cube, and then just the bridge right here.